Hey everybody, welcome to today's update on Daily IoT. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday to you. Before we get into the show today, shout out to Tony in Durban, South Africa, and Jared from the Philippines for reaching out and sending me an email. In my last video, I said if you had subscribed to the channel, shoot me an email, kevin@sidwar.com, to say you had subscribed so I could reach back out and say hey and thanks for the follow. These two guys did, and so I want to give them a shout out on the show. So thanks a bunch. And again, please, if you've subscribed to the channel, please send me an email. I would love to hear from you again to make a connection that there's a person on the other end of that subscribe button. So we're in a little bit of a pit of despair right now with the project. I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to distribute and sell this thing, and realize that I have a major licensing issue on my hands. And so I think I talked about a while back, sports licensing is a crazy industry that has a lot of legal things going on, and just years and years of putting up legal frameworks around licensing team names and logos and league logos and player names and numbers and likenesses and all that sort of thing. And I've run into a little bit of a brick wall that I want to explain on today's episode. And that's in the case of, so all sports leagues are different, but in the case of the NHL, there's a couple of requirements that you need to meet. And one of them is you can't use things like the NHL Shield, the name, anything like that associated with the National Hockey League. You also can't use players, but how those things are licensed is very convoluted and hard to navigate. And so the way I'm sort of getting around the team logos and things, which are all owned under the NHL umbrella, as I understand it, is you buy licensed products like this puck. The money has exchanged hands that needs to exchange hands. I bought a licensed product, the NHL gets their cut, the manufacturer gets their cut, and everybody is happy and paid. I can now modify this and sell it as a value add on top of what has already been licensed and paid for. So that we're all good there, I think. Again, the NHL could decide they don't like that and send me a cease and desist. I don't know. The trickier part is this. So right here, Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't really own his name as a player in the Professional Hockey League. He has some rights to endorse products and things like that, but otherwise the NHL Players Association, which represents every player in the National Hockey League, controls rights to names, jersey numbers, and likeness usage of all of the players. And so by doing this, I need a license from the NHLPA, the NHL Players Association, as I understand it. However, the way the NHL works is you cannot get an NHLPA license without an accompanying NHL license. You have to have both. Okay, well, no big deal. Get both. Problem is I am not qualified for an NHL license on account of several criteria that I do not meet. One of which is you have to be a manufacturer with 5 years experience distributing to retail outlets. I do not have that. You have to have 5 years experience in the license category. There's different categories like hard goods, soft goods, and things like that. You have to have 5 years in the specific category you're looking to license. I do not have that. And apparently the NHL does not entertain new, not existing already in the market ideas, which I think this would definitely qualify for. They don't entertain licensing those at all for legal reasons of introducing a new product and being associated with it. Put this thing on mute. So that's a problem. Like, so I can't put Fleury's name on there, so maybe I can get away with just putting stats. I don't know. I think there's kind of something cool with having the name there. And so anyway, I'm trying to navigate all this. It's like I said, it's a convoluted mess where they've really locked it all down. You can't use player names. I can't even put Fleury's number on here, because associating with the stats, it'd be clear that I'm using his number for financial gain, therefore the NHL Players Association and all this other blah, 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 blah. It is a mess. And so I'm wearing my 0% complaining shirt today because I think it's a great reminder of, after saying all that, so what? Like, do I just give up? Do I just not make this and say, oh, I tried, but licensing's hard? That is not what I'm going to do. I need to figure out how to navigate this, and this is not something that I'm able to navigate on my own. I've reached out to a licensing expert to possibly get some consultation time to see what my options are. I can probably reach out to existing licensees and look into getting under their license umbrella. But again, I'm not sure what that looks like. I don't have any experience in that. I've just done a ton of research on getting there. And so that's the update for today. We're just in sort of mired down in licensing issues that I'm thinking about that don't really affect the hardware and software of this. I'm going to continue working on that, but just stuff that I need to be thinking about if I want to actually get to a point where I'm selling these things, because I don't want to sell a bunch of them and then get a cease and desist from the NHL or NHL Players Association telling me that I need to stop selling things immediately or they are going to sue me. So that is where we're at on the project. Question of the day: where do you buy your licensed sports items? Do you just get them off of Amazon? Do you have a specific outlet on the internet or a local store that you like to buy officially licensed products through? Stick it in the comments below. Maybe I'll reach out to some of them to chat about my licensing problems. So thank you so much for watching Daily IoT, the show where together we're learning how to make the Internet of Things one day at a time.